Let's talk about Hitler.
That'll make sense later.
I'm immaculately conceived.
I don't know what to do.
I swear I'm not stupid.
Take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want to leave it.
If I gotta borrow my mom's underwear, I'm borrowing her underwear.
You just, yeah.
Misa likes the Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like I think it was pretty great. Just staying on the
Sucks to
planet.
suck.
Why are you saying it with a question mark?
Clap, bitch.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Action.
And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is why you're yelling. Welcome back, finally, to another F1 Academy race review. It's been a whole friggin' month.
I know. About the break before that was like months.
Yeah.
It was like weeks and weeks, but it still felt like a minute though.
Yeah.
It felt like a lifetime.
I've forgotten everything I ever knew about F1 Academy, so it's a good thing that at the top of every episode, we do a refresher to
Very
remind
good.
you and ourselves
Yep.
about what the series is and how it works and how it functions and what the race weekend looks like. So
Exactly.
we're going to do that refresher. We're going to give you like a little before the weekend update. We're going to talk about what happened on the weekend and all that jazz.
Yeah. We called it a roundup last time.
Ooh, a roundup.
Yeah.
We're going to do a
And you were like,
roundup.
Woody's roundup.
Woody's roundup from Toy Story. for those
Oh
who
my
don't know.
God. We need to do an intro like that. We should find music.
F1 Academy roundup.
That's funny. Right? Is it? Maybe.
I don't
Okay.
know. Our decision making is questionable at this point. So.
All the time.
We're going to get into our F1 Academy refresher to remind us all what the series is, what it's all about, why it exists in the first place. So F1 Academy is a formula series. It is equivalent to like the F4 level of driving. There are like more localized, like regional F4 series around the world. And this is the equivalent of that, but it is all women.
It is all women on a, I guess you would say, international stage.
Yeah, it is all female drivers. It is primarily women on, or it's at least women focused on for engineers, mechanics, like the whole top to bottom. It's primarily focused on women, but all the drivers are definitely women.
Definitely women.
For sure.
They're for sure.
And so basically the reason the series exists is because we're trying to give females in motorsport another pathway to make it up to the higher levels of driving. So it's just basically another way for them to get exposure, to get experience behind the wheel, to get experience on these tracks around the world,
Mhm.
get experience working within a team.
Exactly, yeah.
And for some of these women, it's the first time they're in a single-seater series. Some of these women have just like karting experience and then jump into here. Some of them have like very little driving experience before they get into the series. But I mean, hey, that's what it's about. It's about getting some experience.
Yeah.
How many more times can I say the word experience?
I don't know. They're getting a little more selective, but yeah, I mean, it's primarily just I think before we'll talk about this rookie test they did in a little bit, but before, they're going to like karting tracks or they're going to like Formula 4 stuff that is, just trying to find people to pull in because they are a little selective because they're trying to take like the best of what they think is who is going to be the most valuable person that's going to absorb all this information. Like who is like worth the time, which might sound a little rude, but it is what it is.
I mean, you can't be wasting.
No.
This is
You
like.
can't be wasting Susie Wolf's time.
No, these are precious resources.
Yeah.
We don't know how long the series is going to be around for because there have been female-only Formula series before.
Yeah, the W series.
Yeah, but it is extinct now. And so, hopefully F1 Academy lasts for a long time. But, like, these are very precious resources. We don't know how long it's going to last. We need to make sure that we're, like, we need to make sure that we're all, like, hand-selecting and picking the best of the best women because we need them to absorb everything that they can to then hopefully go on. And eventually, I want to see a lady on the F1 grid.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. I mean, Susie Wolf put it best, and she said something in the F1, the Academy series. She said, we want to be a movement, not a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yep.
I agree. So about the cars, because I know you care and want to know. I care and want to know.
Yeah.
Everyone uses the same car in F1 Academy. It's a spec series.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all on a pretty level playing field when it comes to the machinery that they're actually using. It is a Taurus F4 T421 chassis. It's a lot of letters and numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's powered by an Audio-Technica turbo engine on Pirelli tires.
Yeah.
And these F1 Academy cars are a little bit different from the F4 cars in that they feature a unique aero package, which has modified front and rear wings compared to like a standard Formula 4 car.
Yeah.
Oh, and so the reason that it's a spec series is because they're really trying to focus on driver development.
Yeah.
This series, like the F1 is about the drivers should basically be developed by the time they get to F1, more or less.
Supposed to be.
Kimi Antonelli, different story.
No!
I'm just saying he's been struggling.
No! He's a baby.
He's a baby, but they should be more or less developed by the time they get to F1, and then it's more about like the machinery, the technology, the cars themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it's like F1 is like the pinnacle of motorsport for like your driver, and like that's like what can I possibly do to a car to make it go fast, like the technological
as fast
side
as
of
possible.
It. Yeah.
But yeah, so this series is not about the technical side of it.
No.
It is purely about driver development.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going back to that experience, we want the drivers to get driving these cars on these tracks within the teams.
Yeah. Plus, it's also a way easier thing to do. Like whenever like F1, you underestimate how much money it takes to run a single F1 team. There's a lot of employees to pay for. So when you have a spec series, the cost of it is way lower. That's another reason, like with F2 and F3, the cars are very like they're spec series. So
you're not spending the money to develop the car.
No, but you also don't have the budget. Like you do not have the money. And so it's a lot, like you said, it's focused on like racecraft, developing those like skills that then you can then take to like larger motorsports.
So we'll talk about the teams. We'll remind everybody there are 6 teams. Each team has 3 drivers on the grid. And they're supported by various different sponsors, but also some of them are supported by some of the F1 teams. So like Mercedes sponsors a driver, McLaren sponsors a driver.
Yeah.
Racing Bulls or...
Yeah, all the F1 teams, every single F1 team sponsors a driver. Anyone who's not sponsored by a Formula 1 team is sponsored by one of their major, like F1 Academy's major sponsors, but they're all under the teams that you've probably seen before in Formula 2 and Formula 3, like Prema and Campos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then some of the other major sponsors you might be familiar with, like Gatorade, Tommy Hilfiger, Charlotte Tilbury, those kind of teams.
Yeah.
So of the 18 drivers on the grid, 17 of them are permanent full-time drivers for the season for F1 Academy. Yeah, so that 18th seat is on the high-tech TGR team, and it is a wildcard seat. So basically every round of the F1 Academy season, they pull in somebody to fill that wildcard seat. So a lot of times they'll pick somebody who's more local to where the track is. It hasn't always been the case, but
they often do, yeah.
It often is. So if they're driving in, what was one of the places? When they were driving in Canada, I think it was like a Canadian driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for instance, or like where were they at when they were in the desert somewhere? Was it Saudi Arabia?
Yes, they were in Saudi Arabia.
It was a Saudi Arabian driver that they pulled.
Yeah.
To fill that wildcard seat. So and the wildcard seat is a way to give just one extra lady an opportunity to see what she can do behind the wheel. And then oftentimes we've seen that the wildcard drivers from the previous season will get a full-time seat the next season.
Yeah.
And part of that is because these teams have been able to see what the girls can do in the actual car itself and not just seeing them like on a karting track or something. Yeah. So the race weekend format, they have up to 2 free practice sessions, and then they will do a qualifying session, and then they do 2 races. One of the races is a reverse grid order for the top 8 qualifiers. And then the second race is a just regular 1 through 18 qualifying. That's how you start on the grid. And so for the reverse grid, it'll be like, so like say if you qualified first for the reverse grid, you would start 8th.
Yep.
And it's just like that, just for the top 8, everyone else starts where they qualified.
Before we get into going over Singapore or going into the weekend, F1 Academy did something different. They did this the first time they've done this, and they did what they've called a rookie test. So what it was because going into Singapore, it's a street circuit and you can't like test or practice at the street circuit because oftentimes at F1 Academy, they will, like when we were going to Zandvoort, the girls actually went and tested at Zandvoort before the event.
Before the race weekend.
Yeah, before the race weekend. So we cannot do that with street circuits.
Because they're temporary circuits.
Yeah.
They are put up for the race and then taken down after.
So instead, they actually tested at Circuito de Navarra, which is in Spain. And along with that, the normal F1 Academy girls testing there and, just getting some more experience behind the wheel, they also did what they've now called a rookie test. So what is this rookie test? It is a 2-day program that gives 18 invited drivers equal machinery an opportunity to showcase why they deserve to have a full-time seat in the 2026 F1 Academy season. And so what did it actually do and how did it run? So on the first day, the rookies were embedded with teams during official testing. So basically, while the official testing of F1 Academy girls were going on, these 18 invited drivers were then embedded with these teams where they got to take part in briefings, engineering sessions, plus research-led physical and cognitive assessments by official partner More Than Equal to profile strength, endurance, and cognition. So they also had the F1 Academy girls who are currently on the grid take part in this as well. And essentially what they did is they were building profiles about their cognitive abilities, their strengths, where they were in their career. And it sounds like they're trying to build profiles that they can then later apply to new drivers. This is for profile A. This is the best plan we've seen. This is the plan we've laid out for that, and you fit this. So just trying to streamline the process of how can we help female drivers. Mm-hmm. So on day 2, they had 6 hours of testing, and it was 2 3-hour sessions. And basically, they're in the same car, and they have 3 sets of Pirelli tires and to manage across the entire day. That's a long time. It doesn't sound like it's a long time, but that is a long time to drive a race car.
Yeah. I mean, just the 1 3-hour session is a lot.
Yeah. So who qualified to take part in this test? It was drivers who haven't raced in any F1 Academy weekend, which actually excluded any wildcard drivers. So I was a little surprised by that, but if you have taken part, if you've been on the grid for F1 Academy, if you've been a wildcard driver, you could not take part in this. You were not invited. But when you think about it, I guess when you're a wildcard driver, you have an entire weekend of experience and of track time.
You're embedded with the team. It's the same sort of experience that these other
exactly. Experience-wise, you're not missing out on. If anything, they might be missing out on some profiles. But honestly, with inviting 18 drivers, then also having your current driver, that's a lot of drivers to build profiles with.
Yeah.
So like we said, if the people who qualified, they could not have participated in an F1 Academy weekend, and they had to hold the appropriate FIA International Circuit license, which is a B, C, or D, or a national license with proof of competence. So
basically something saying
I know how to drive this car.
I can do something with a car.
Yeah, I can drive it. And so the overall message is why does it matter? Why did they start doing this? I think that the reason they really started to do this is because they really wanted something that a tool to actually help them decide who should we pick, to actually have data, something more data driven rather than they're good. Mm-hmm. You have like we said, they're building these profiles.
It's actual statistical information. Yeah. So you're compiling a database basically of all sorts of information about each individual driver. Not just height and weight and cognitive ability, but also how have they performed in other series they've driven in? How are they performing over this weekend? Mm-hmm. You see where their strengths and weaknesses are. And then if over a period of time, you collect that data and then you continue to track each girl's how they perform throughout F1 Academy seasons or further down in their career. So it could be to where, you're collecting this data for 10 years and we can show you, hey, this particular woman started here. 10 years later, this is what she's achieved and where she's ended up. And we can show you the success and not all these drivers are going to be successful.
Yeah.
Not every single one of them is going to go on and continue to race in motorsport or continue to achieve at high levels in motorsport. So if you can identify some common, something of statistical significance across the people who have been successful, then that gives you at least a starting point and a reference point for selecting future drivers to give opportunities to, because they can say, okay, hey, well, you have characteristics that match these other, one of these
profile A, profile B, profile C.
Exactly. You have data that matches one of these types of profiles that we can track and see have gone to be successful.
Yeah.
So that means you may be a really good fit.
But yeah, so essentially they are just trying to have a more data-driven way into who they're going to be choosing to go on to the next year. So it sounds to me that they'll probably do this test at the end of the year, trying to decide who they're going to take for the next season.
Mhm.
And like you said, it's going to be a tool that they use in the future to really just start harnessing in and zeroing in on like those decisions. So before we go into Singapore, let's recap where we stood after Zandvoort. So the championship picture, basically at this time, it was still Doriane Pin, Maya Weug, and Chloe Chambers. They were still leading the way in the championship with Ella Lloyd, Alicia Palmowski, and Nina Gaidman. Technically, at this time, they were mathematically in the mix for the championship, but the bigger picture there is they're in their own little rookie battle to decide who's the top dog, who's the top rookie here. And you know how we love a rookie report, and we love talking about our rookies. One of the biggest storylines going into the weekend was how Doriane Pin had a 20-point lead over Maya Weug, and mathematically, she was capable, essentially, of winning the championship this weekend in Singapore.
If she hit all the right.
If she hit every single thing perfect, technically, she would have had a 40-point lead, and there's only 39 points available in Las Vegas. So mathematically, she would have been champion. So that was a storyline going into it. A lot of people asked her about it, and she just was playing it cool, and she was just like, it's one thing at a time.
Yeah, don't get ahead of ourselves.
Maya was going into Singapore after having a lot of success in the round before in Zandvoort. She is doing her best to keep the title fight alive. She suffered a lot in Montreal where she had a lot of mechanical failure, so she's kind of just been playing catch up for like months at this point. After Zandvoort, she is back in the championship contention for sure, and then going into Singapore, she is hungry. While Chloe Chambers, unfortunately...
Hungry, not Hungary.
Yeah, hungry, not Hungary. But Chloe Chambers was going into Singapore really, really, really needing to score, like, win everything at this point, because after her DNS in Zandvoort, which was pretty devastating, I mean, she went from being in that title fight to, like, barely being in the title fight going into Singapore. The team battles, Prima Racing, they led the standings over Campos and MP Motorsport. Prima also had the chance to secure the team championship if they could score 87 points by the end of the weekend in Singapore. So they also have the chance. So we've got Doriane Pin and Prima.
We're going for it.
They're trying. They could almost secure it. Some things to consider going into the weekend. With only a single 40-minute practice session, Singapore left little margin for error on its 19-corner layout. Rookies faced an even tougher challenge because there's no prior testing here. They've never driven this track before. This will be the very first time they've done it, unless they've done something on a simulator. But again, there's still no on-track experience here. Now, the person who was really thrown for a loop is Megan Bruce. And you've probably never heard of her before. Well, if you watched it this weekend, you would have heard of her. But she had to step in for an injured Ava and Agnostiades to make her series debut because Ava has a foot fracture. No. And so Megan gets called on Monday. Hey, we need you in Singapore. You want to be there? And then Tuesday she's there. So poor girl had no time to prepare at all.
And Singapore is rough because it's so hot and humid.
Yeah. So some information about Megan. She is currently in GB4. And she also took part in the rookie test that they had. So that was another reason that they called her. So she had to just show up and show out.
They were like, hey, we know you.
Hey, you did. So she finished in the top 4 in each session at the rookie test. So they were really impressed with her. And the biggest takeaway going into the weekend is limited running and the switch to nighttime qualifying put adaptability under the spotlight. Because basically the practice session was in the daytime. The qualifying session is at night, and you might think, why does that matter? It's because of track temperatures. Everything changes, so you're going from
super hot to a lot cooler.
Yeah, so really it's you're practicing it's completely different conditions.
Doesn't really do much for the qualifying because anything you learn on the daytime track is kind of not super helpful when it comes to the tires and managing the tires and driving on them at night.
Exactly.
Kind of don't do jack.
No, I mean, nothing. I think the race was during the daytime. Well, they had 2 races, but still. So it left, the rookies at a very clear disadvantage compared to the experienced front runners who, they have raced at this track before and they have at least some experience here.
Let's talk about practice. There was only one practice session this weekend. It was about 40 minutes long, and it was a dry track, so that was good.
Yeah, and it was during the daytime, which was kind of not great for qualifying later, but you do what you can.
They also are working around the other series that are racing on the track because it ain't just them.
No.
So our top 3 finishers in practice were Doriane Pin in P1, Maya Weug in P2, and Alicia Pomowski in P3. Chloe Chambers came in P4, keeping herself kind of up in the times. Ella Lloyd was in P5. Our wildcard debut, Lisa Billard, was at P6. And there was some early drama for Rafaela Ferreira, whose engine let go on the installation lap.
Like the first lap.
Oh, okay. Ending her session. I was like, installation? What are we installing?
Yeah, what is that? What's that? Yeah, that was pretty horrible for her because she got like no practice. And it was pretty devastating. So, but Lisa was super impressive. Like we said, she's a wild card, and like even though it's just practice, but getting P6 is still pretty impressive. So
yeah. Now let's talk about qualifying.
Yeah,
it was hot and humid, which Singapore is expected. It just is. It was a night session under the lights.
It looked cool.
Yeah, and so the grip on the track was improving as the session went on, as a lot of times it does.
Oh yeah, every time they were going across that track, it's like new fastest. Because
you're warming in up the tires, you're laying down more rubber, and the track will be drying up if there's any like humidity like absorbed into it or sitting on top. It'll kind of dry up. Our top 3 finishers in qualifying were Maya Weug in P1, Doriane Pin in P2, and Chloe Chambers in P3. We did have a red flag. Ella Lloyd brought it out after clipping the wall, which ended her early charge. And there was some traffic that proved costly for a couple drivers on their final laps, including Alicia Pomowski and is it Ariella Nobles? Ariella. Hot dog. I was close. There were no penalties.
Which is kind of surprising. Pretty shocking because I fully expected to see a lot of people on the wall.
I feel like there were a lot of penalties last round. Was it Zandvoort or the one before?
Oh,
there was another where
China
it was like
had 400
penalties
flags.
out the
penalties. Oh no, it was Nicole Haverda got like 100 penalties.
Yeah, I was like, who was that? I remember somebody was just wow.
I remember it was Nicole Haverda because I was like, bless, girl.
So some other key results from qualifying. We had Ella Lloyd recovered for P4, showing strong pace despite her incident.
She don't play, man. That girl is like the rookie. I feel like
she clipped that wall and said, keep it going.
She said, no. George Russell ended up setting a great qualifying lap after he hit the wall. I'm going to keep going.
It just has to knock some sense into you.
Yeah.
You clip the wall and you're like, okay, shit, let me get my shit together. I got it. Okay.
I'll get better.
And then our wildcard entry, Lisa Billard, impressed with P5, the best qualifying result for a wildcard this season.
Yeah.
And Alicia Pomowski finished P6 with Hausman and Gaidman close behind. So the biggest takeaways from qualifying were obviously Maya Weug in P1, kind of keeping that momentum rolling. And then we had Chloe Chambers and Doriane Pin finishing right behind her. They like owned that ass. And then rookie Ella Lloyd kind of proving that she's still fighting up there. So I remember she was the one that
she got like 100 podiums.
Yeah, she's been doing really well this season.
Really well.
Really impressive. And then the wildcard entry getting P5 qualifying, that just like right on the pace, right on the money, out the gate is like nuts. It's like, okay, she'll definitely remember her name, Lisa Billard. She'll be around next year for sure.
Well, we will talk about race 1. And again, this is the reverse grid race. And as a reminder, like we said, the top 8 qualifiers are then reversed on the grid. So if you qualified 8th, you're first. If you're first, you're 8th. So the conditions for this, it was a dry night race with 2 safety car interruptions. So we'll talk about those safety cars in a minute. Our podium, let me tell you, I was so excited about this. It was Lia Block. And yes, I love Lia. It was Maya Weug and then Chloe Chambers. Yay! So we had USA, 2 USA drivers, 2 American drivers on the podium.
Let's go. I'm so happy for Lia.
I am too. She is a driver that does not have a lot of single-seater experience. Her background is rallying, and so she struggled a lot because she's just like, she was so natural at rally that her transition to single seater was a little more difficult than she anticipated, even though she kind of showed promise really early on. She's had incidents that weren't her fault. And so it was just nice to see, like, she got her first podium last race in Zandvoort, and now see her actually win a race was just super exciting to see. Some of the key moments from race 1. There was a start delay. The race was pushed back due to a barrier repair at turn 12 and 13. I guess there was an incident with one of the other racing series, so they had to take the time to repair that. So there was a delay. Lap 1 was crazy. So we had Lia Block, she had pole, and we had Ariel Nobles right behind her. And going into turn 1, Nobles is immediately challenging Lia. They both end up going off track. They both go wide, but it was kind of, Lia didn't really have a choice because, like, if she didn't, she was going to hit her. Mm-hmm. So she kind of didn't have a choice but to follow Ariel where she went. Then when they rejoined the track, Lia was up front and she kept it from there.
She put her foot in it.
Yeah, she was like, this is mine. Another incident on lap 1. Unfortunately, we had Nicole Haverda. She hit the wall, triggering safety car number 1. Yeah, bless it. So around lap 4 to 6, Chloe Chambers starts to attack Emma Feldmeyer for P3, but locked up, and which allowed Maya Weug through. So she then passes Nobles for P2. So like we said, Maya, she qualified first, which means she's starting 8th. By lap 6, she's 2nd. Ferrari
can't tell her shit.
Can't tell her nothing. She's Dutch. They're built different. I'm telling you, these Dutch drivers are built different. So unfortunately, Alicia Palmowski, around lap 9, she just had an incident where her car just took itself out into the barrier. It was really weird because you didn't really see her make any obvious mistake. I guess she took too much curb, and it looks like that car just throws itself into the wall.
It's a yeet.
It just literally, it just yeeted itself in there, which is why we got safety car number 2. So the restarts. This was the first time Leah's really been leading, and she nailed the restart, son. She nailed them.
Clock it.
Yep.
Clock it. As my niece says, she's 5. She says, clock it.
Yeah. Also on the restart, we had some battles between Chloe Chambers and Ariel Nobles side by side. So, which ended up leading Chloe to taking P3. My other girl. They're all my girls.
My other girl.
My other girl.
But who's the main chick? Put you on the spot. Who's the main chick?
So the penalties.
Who's the side chicks?
I'm always rooting for Lia Block, but I'm always rooting for Chloe Chambers. I've been rooting for Chloe Chambers since the start of it. USA. So for penalties, Ella Lloyd, who finished P4 on track, but she dropped down to P7 because she did get a 5-second penalty. And Alba Larson was also handed a 10-second penalty for contact with Billard. Womp womp. So back to our title contenders. For race 2, Maya Weug's run to P2 closed the gap in the standings. That was extremely crucial for her. And it's really interesting to see, too, because the reason we have this reverse grid race is so not only does it give, some of maybe the midfield pack more of a chance for some wins, but it's also really good experience for the front runners to know what it's like to have to go through the pack. So really, it's like you could look at it either way.
Yeah.
So Maya just continues to prove herself. Chloe Chambers returned to the podium after her Zandvoort setback, which was really exciting. And then Doriane Pin recovered points after a difficult mid-pack battle, finishing just outside the top 3. So some of the reactions, obviously Lia Block was stoked, super excited. She said, "It feels amazing to win here in Singapore with 2 safety cars and so much pressure. I'm so proud of this moment." And she should be. She nailed it, and she'd just be super proud of herself. So the biggest takeaway is Lia Block took her first ever F1 Academy win with a composed drive under the lights. So dramatic. Of Singapore. Maya Weug's recovery to P2 kept her in the championship hunt, and Chloe Chambers added another podium to her season, while Ariel Nobles delivered her best yet result with P4. We will now move on to race 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
Lot more dramatic, son. Lot more dramatic.
Or daughter. You said a lot more dramatic, son.
Oh, or daughter.
Child.
A man, a woman.
Okay. Moving on.
So the conditions for this race, it started off with a dry track, but they were like, ooh, them are some clouds in the distance. So they were really watching the weather. And then the rain did in fact come. And it was
Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Hilliard Duff is
Let it
coming out with
wash
new music.
away. That's all.
My sanity.
I saw that. No, this is not about
I'm sorry. Guess I tricked.
Anyway, so like we said, the conditions, it was dry, then it wasn't. The end. So there were some, but that being said, there were some.
The end. No more to the story.
That's all.
That's it.
It didn't rain. It wasn't raining, and then it was. That's pretty much all that happened.
Weather
happens. Crazy. No, so there were some mixed tire calls, and it actually was an extremely dramatic last lap. So our podium, Maya Weug took the win. She passes Doriane Pin on the last lap. It's crazy, son.
I love a dramatic finish.
Especially on Singapore, a track you cannot overtake on easily. It was dramatic. It had all the flair we love.
Mm-hmm. See, if you need a reason to watch F1 Academy.
I mean, if nothing else, you'll see some overtakes, dude. I promise. You will see race
side-by-side racing.
Tire to tire.
Love it.
So Doriane Pin took second place, followed by Ella Lloyd, who took P3, just adding another podium to her belt.
That girl, she's
she gonna be one of the championship contenders next year because she was a rookie. Let me tell you, her and Alicia Palmowski, it's gonna be crazy.
Look out.
Yes. So some of the key moments in race 2. So in lap 1, Doriane Pin got the launch and took the lead into turn 1 as Weug struggled to cover off the inside. So, at the very start, Doriane said, "Thank you, next." And didn't look too great at first. So in some of the early laps, we had Ella Lloyd once again. Ella and Chloe Chambers just keep finding each other.
Are they BFFs? That'd be great if they were.
I don't know. And eventually it was a 3-way fight because then Emma Felpenmeyer 3 wide trying to figure out who's going to go get P3. They weren't playing. And Chloe especially this weekend was driving extremely aggressive. Sometimes maybe a little over ambitious. She locked up quite a few times in both races really because, she's trying so hard to, because she really looked like this could be her championship. And then having that setback in Zandvoort is it's really hard to recover when you get no points. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to make up a few, but to get none while your title contenders are getting like 25 points because they were full Formula One points in that race.
There are so few races in the season.
Yes.
Every single result matters so much.
So Chloe wasn't playing. It was nuts.
She put her foot in it.
Yeah. And then unfortunately on lap 4, Lia Block clipped the barrier and dropped to the rear of the race. But that's okay because she won race 1.
We'll take it.
And it happens. It's Singapore, and it was a crazy race. So with 6 laps to go, that's when the rain goes, "Hi, how are ya?" And it just shows up, and it gets super intense. And so Palmowski gambled on wets while the leader stayed on slick. So it was a really big decision because you're like, okay, I have a few, but
it's only a couple of laps, but how
you never know.
Are you going to be on the slicks and how slow are you going to have to take it?
And
are you
going to spin out? So different.
Yeah.
Like the pit stops take forever. It's not like in F1 where they're like a 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds long. So it was rough. That being said, though, Nicole Haverda, unfortunately, while the rain was happening, she ended up wrecking, which caused a safety car, which then neutralized the field for a late sprint. So, this is all happening with 6 laps to go. So really, the last lap is the last racing lap they had.
It's like 6 laps to go. Here's some more rain. Boom. Let's do a pit stop for new tires. Boom.
It's like done. And then,
then a crash. Boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck?
What's going on? So Maya Weug and Doriane Pin both chose to not pit. So they were on their slicks and they're like, this is what I'm doing.
They're going to hold on for dear life. Jesus, take the wheel.
The radio messages were very funny. At one point, they were like, box. I think it was to Doriane. They're like, box. She's like, literally no, too late. And I'm not doing that. Too late anyway. It was too late. Yeah. So like she couldn't have anyway.
Absolutely not.
So some of it was very funny.
We're not doing that.
She goes, no. Now, the craziest thing, I'm like, it's so dramatic. It's the last lap of the race. That's when the safety car went in. So it's basically just on the last lap.
It's a last lap sprint.
Yep. And remember, Maya Weug, she had pole. She was started on the grid first, and then Doriane Pin got the better of her and took it over. And then at the last lap, Maya said, I'm taking that back. And in a very dramatic fashion, passes her and just maintains it to the line. And I'm like, dang, man, that was some like racing though. Crazy. That was insane. I actually was shocked. I was like, wow.
Is F1 Academy putting out these clips?
Yeah.
I follow them on Instagram, but I never see their posts in my feed. And I'm just like, I need to see more racing highlight clips because that's the kind of stuff when you see cool shit like that, 3 wide in the turn or like, taking over on the lap, like going for the move late on last lap and taking it. Like that's the kind of stuff that you're like,
love it.
Yeah, eat that up. And
Clock it. Love it. Love that. So, exactly.
It's a new tick. It's like, clock it.
So, for our title contenders, Maya Weug cut further into Pon's lead, keeping the championship alive into the final round.
Let's go. I love a down to the last race.
Down to the wire.
I eat that up.
Doriane Pin banked vital points but saw her margin reduce. So again, going into Singapore, she had a 20-point lead. She did not anymore. It was down to, I believe it's 8 or 9 points. Chloe Chambers stayed in touch with another top 4 finish, so she's adding more podiums, but at this point in time, I would not expect. The title fight is the title fight, man. It's Doriane and Maya. Crazy. The biggest takeaways, like we said, Maya Weug proved her resilience with a bold last lap move that kept her title bid alive. Doriane Pin showed race-long control but was denied at the last moment, while Ella Lloyd continued to underline her growth with another podium. This also changes who our top 3 are. For the longest time, it was Doriane Pin, Maya Weug, and Chloe Chambers. It is now Doriane Pin, Maya Weug, and Ella Lloyd. Crazy.
Damn, Ella.
Ella.
You did that.
She did that. Clock it. Whatever that is. I can't do that. Whatever.
So every episode, we like to highlight the wildcard driver and learn a little bit more about her.
Yeah.
And kind of her driving history and stuff like that. So we'll talk a little bit about Lisa Billard.
Yeah.
So she, like we mentioned earlier, joined the F1 Academy this round for the wildcard entry for High-Tech TGR. That's going to mess me up every time.
Mm-hmm.
High-Tech TGR. So, this wildcard entry was supported by Gatorade.
Yes, the car looks super cool. It's like orange and just looks like a racing car. I just love it. Which I know you're like, what does that mean? Well, honestly, I love a simple livery.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't stand when a livery has 400 damn stickers on it or 400 sponsors, and I know sponsors are important. I'm just saying, I love a simple livery. That's all.
Yeah. So a little bit of her background. She is 16 years old.
She's a baby.
She's the youngest wildcard driver in F1 Academy history.
Get it, girl.
Yeah. She's the first female winner of the French Junior Karting Championship.
Wow.
And is a member of the Alpine Racer program.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I think Esteban Ocon has supported her publicly before.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He was, I think, there like at the races and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like watching.
Because they have like, I guess they share roots of where they like grown up and like karted and stuff. So he's familiar with her and he's talked about her.
Yeah. So she impressed at the 2025 F1 Academy rookie test that we talked about earlier, and with having the second fastest overall time among the rookies that were testing. And she entered Singapore with backing from Gatorade, featuring a special 60th anniversary livery. Yeah, we said that shares roots with Esteban Ocon, who drives for Haas in F1. And they share roots in Normandy karting.
That was cool. I love seeing the F1 drivers out there. Like I saw Lewis Hamilton there after race 2, and he's like standing with Susie Wolff for Ferrari, and I'm like, I just love to see them out there.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I like when the guys support the girl drivers.
Yeah, I've seen Kimmy out there before too, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So just recapping Lisa's performance in Singapore in qualifying, she finished P5, which is the best result for a wildcard entry so far this season. In race 1, she battled inside the top 5, but finished P8. In race 2, she fought through the rain and a late safety car, finishing just outside the points in P11. So overall, a pretty strong performance for her.
For sure. I mean, finishing P8, she got points. She got 8 points. So
I mean, the biggest takeaway, again, is just like her performance really underlines and highlights the purpose of
Yeah.
F1 Academy
Yeah.
in trying to shine a spotlight on young female driving talent
Yeah.
and give them some experience and just see what they can do when they're given the
Exactly.
opportunity. And I mean, she, I think, delivered on the opportunity she was given.
100%.
So yeah, I wouldn't
be shocked to see her next year.
Yeah, I agree.
So we will do our standings update. It's basically, where are we now that Singapore is over with? So the top 5 in the Drivers' Championship, we have Doriane Pin, Maya Weug, Ella Lloyd, Chloe Chambers, and Alicia Palmowski. And again, so the gap that was 20 points going into the weekend is now 9 points. Crazy. Ooh, crazy. So the team championship, at this point, Prima Racing is more than likely like that. It's going to be theirs. Now the battle to watch will be between MP Motorsport and Campos Racing, who MP Motorsport has 208 points and Campos has 187. So there's still some wiggle room there to see what we can do. And I just said, the biggest takeaway here is that the title fight going into Las Vegas in dramatic fashion, down to the wire, is going to be between Doriane Pin and Maya Weug, with just 9 points between them. Ella Lloyd has really proven herself to be that rookie, that girl to be watching out for. So it'll be excited to see how she fares in Las Vegas and to see how she might battle with her fellow rookie Alicia Palmowski and even Nina Gademan, who's also a rookie who has really proven herself to us this season. And that's pretty much what we get to look forward to in a few weeks.
You know how they do like the the motorsport awards? Like, and they give like Rookie of the Year is one of the awards that they give out.
Oh, do they do F1 Academy ones?
I was starting to look that up because I'm like, for Rookie of the Year, everyone's like talking about Isaac Hajar from Formula One, and I'm like, are F1 Academy rookies eligible for that award?
I mean, probably not if F2 and F3 aren't.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know enough about that. We'll find out before Vegas.
I know. I was just curious because I'm like, let's put a girl up in contention. My girl Ella.
Ella not playing.
No.
Mm-mm.
She's doing great.
She is doing really good.
So now we're going to spotlight one of our permanent seat drivers.
Yes.
We do a different driver every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so this time we're going to be talking about Lia Block.
Yes.
Your girl, Lia Block. Did you pick her because she won her first race this weekend?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And I did.
I just did. So Lia Block races for Art Grand Prix and is supported by Williams. She hit back-to-back milestones with her first career podium in the last round and then her first F1 Academy win here in Singapore.
Get it, girl.
Get it, girl. She had controlled restarts and race pace through 2 safety cars and held off late pressure from title contenders in this round. So just some background info about Lia Block. She comes from like racing royalty almost.
Yes,
she's got the pedigree, girl. So she is American. And she's in her second F1 Academy season. She is the daughter of the late Ken Block, who was a renowned rally driver and Hoonigan co-founder. He is very well known.
Oh my god!
Throughout the motorsport community, like
it's insane. Like when that accident happened, it's like the racing world for a moment, everyone stopped.
Yeah,
it was insane. When I went to California and we went to this like car museum, there's an entire section of just Ken Block stuff. I mean, literally all his cars, all this stuff. It's crazy. So like, yeah, Lia comes from, like you said, like rally royalty.
And she's got a deep rally/rallycross background. She's known for car control, adaptability, and comfort on low grip surfaces. Prior to joining F1 Academy, she began karting at age 11, then competed in rally, Extreme E, and rallycross, and made history as the youngest ever American Rally Association champion in the Open 2WD class.
Yes, and not only did she win that was not like a girls only thing. So she went into this, there are guys there, boys there, whatever the ages are, and like she won it. And I think from what I remember hearing, like she won almost every single event. Like she just was
very naturally gifted.
She's like Max Verstappen growing up, but for rally.
Yeah.
Growing up with a dad like that.
Yeah. So her F1 Academy career in 2024, that was her rookie season. There's a little learning curve. She showed some like flashes of speed, including two P4 finishes at Marina Bay while adapting from her off-road rally driving to single seaters. And so this year in 2025, there was a change in consistency and race execution that led to her first podium and then eventually first win this round.
Yeah.
So I mean, girl put in the work. She put in the effort and really developed.
Yeah.
And really there was like a steep, just kind of like, who is this new Lia Block?
Oh, yeah.
Who is she?
She was one of the storylines in F1 The Academy, the Netflix series. And, you really get to see her struggle with being so gifted and just naturally gifted. It's like second nature to her when it comes to rally. And then like, what skills do I take from rally? What can I apply to single seater racing? And so she just had like a learning curve. It showed like really like natural born skills. And so it's nice to see that she's in her last season of F1 Academy. You can see the actual progression. So it's nice to be able to see like, okay, maybe she didn't have the best first season she wanted, but she's definitely had a way better season in her second season. So it'll be exciting to see where she goes after this. I wonder if she'll continue with single seaters.
We shall see.
Yeah. So looking ahead, our next round of F1 Academy is going to be in Las Vegas.
Heyo.
It's going to be November 20th through the 22nd, and it will be night racing under the neon. Very dramatic.
I like Las Vegas as it is a street circuit, and we know how you feel about she hates a street circuit. I don't mind Vegas as a street circuit.
I think it'll be fun. They'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have good memories of Vegas last year because
as long
Max
as they
won.
They get all the drain covers secured.
Poor Carlos Sainz that one year.
We don't have them
the debut year.
Yeah.
Ooh, I remember that. Sorry. So this is actually F1 Academy's first visit to Las Vegas. So they've never been here before. So, really excited to. It's going to be, and it fits. It's such a dramatic season. It is down to just a few points between Maya and Doriane. So, like, what place to better finish in dramatic fashion than Las Vegas? So, something to expect. It's going to be tough. So, we have long straights into heavy braking and cool night temperatures that make tire warm-up tricky. So, there's going to be a lot of low grip. And then street circuit bumps are always fun. You have the cars hopping over the curbs. So, and if for those who don't know, even though I think we've talked about it, there is no DRS in F1 Academy. So it's going to be, you got to get that slipstream and you got to hit your braking zones. And it will be interesting, but also because this is the first time F1 Academy has been here, which means even our veterans don't have that knowledge that they normally do going to tracks that rookies haven't been to. So everyone's going to be on an equal playing field, essentially. So, like we've talked about multiple times throughout this episode, the championship watch will be between Doriane Pin and Maya Weug. Doriane Pin has 151 points. Maya Weug has 142, a 9-point difference. It's going to be cinema.
It better be.
It better be.
After all this hype, it better be.
It better be. And we also look forward to watching Ella Lloyd, the rookie who continues to rise, and we'll just see what happens.
Yep.
And that pretty much wraps it up. Okay, who am I going to put my money on? Let's put our money on people.
Oh, who's going to get it?
God, it could go either way. I'm going with Maya.
It could go.
I mean, the momentum, I just feel like, it could be either one of them.
I don't know. Doriane's got that dog in her. She does,
but they both do, dude. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, it's Vegas. You got to bet. You got to put money on somebody.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Doriane.
I'm going to go Maya.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Dutch. That feels like a safe bet, but I don't know. I'm scared. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up our weekend roundup of F1 Academy at Singapore. If you have not already watched F1 The Academy, it is out on Netflix. It has been since May. We have reviewed it. It is not out yet. Pretty sure last time I said it would be out, but I'm not known to be a truth teller.
I feel like you should never, ever promise.
No, so I will promise you nothing. I'm just going to encourage you to go watch F1 The Academy. You get a really good idea of what these girls are like experiencing behind the scenes, how the teams work. Really, like, it just shows a different perspective that I don't know. I really enjoyed. I think that if you're a racing fan or a motorsport fan in general, I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and our review for that will be out soon.
You should subscribe and
You
turn
should.
on bell notifications.
Yes, you should.
So you will be notified when that review does go up.
Exactly. Because it will be out eventually.
This year.
It will be out this
Before
year.
the end of 2025.
Yes, it will.
It will be out.
Yes, it
for
will.
sure, 100%.
Yes, that is a fact. So we will talk at you about F1 Academy after Las Vegas. Bye.